Zagreb was supposed to be just another stop on the circuit. But then came Julien Alfred, moving like thunder. And then came Bayanda Wazala, breaking clocks and shattering expectations. The Zagreb meeting just got flipped upside down by two young stars from the islands and the motherland. And while the world watched the big names fumble elsewhere, these two dropped fire on the track that nobody saw coming. This wasn't just a race, it was a statement. She didn't jog in, she didn't smile, she didn't wave. Julien Alfred stepped on that Zagreb track like she was sick of being underrated. And then boom, the gun fired. She blew out the curve like it owed her money. No contest, no pressure, no mercy. 22.15 seconds into a -0.8 headwind, pure Lucian lightning. She beat Spain's Yel Bastu by nearly 0.8 of a second. She beat Hungary's Boglarka Takex like it was a school sports day. Let's be real, Julien Alfred ran a final while the rest ran heats. And yet the track world barely noticed. Why? Because she doesn't train in the US. Because she's from St. Lucia and not one of the big three. Put some respect on her name. Because this performance wasn't just dominant, it was disrespectful. And then came the explosion. A young South African, Bayanda Wazala, lined up in the men's 100m, quiet, focused, unknown to most. But when the gun went off, the boy ran like his future was on the line. 9.94 seconds into a light -0.4 wind. *** personal best, U20 national record. Second fastest African U20 ever. *** behind only the legendary Letsail Tebogo. Ladies and gentlemen, this was his international debut. Let that sink in. First pro race. First overseas test. First time sharing a stage with experienced beasts, and he cooked them all. And just like that, Africa has a new sprint prince. And maybe, just maybe, South Africa has found the fire it's been missing since Akani Simbine started fading. So where was Seville? Where was Curly? Where were the Americans? Now let's stir the pot. How is it that two athletes can perform like this and still get less spotlight than athletes who aren't even running? Julien Alfred just ran a time that would medal in almost any championship, and Twitter barely blinked. Bayanda Wazala literally broke a national record. And major sprint media's too busy reposting gym selfies from US sprinters who haven't cracked 10.00 all season. You see the bias now. Because when talent comes from the islands or the continent, they gotta do twice as much to get half the hype. But guess what? They're not asking for attention. They're taking it. Zagreb was supposed to be a quiet meet, but instead, it was a revolution. Julien Alfred reminded us that Caribbean queens don't need clout. They just need a lane. And Bayanda Wazala, he reminded the world that the next African sprint wave has already arrived. The message is clear. We don't chase legacy, we build it. Let the Americans talk, let the hype roll on. Because Julien and Bayanda, they're already running into history.